Moving on to item number 3 under presentations, Parks and Recreation Commission report, and Commissioner Erica Summers will be presenting.
Hello. Yeah. Uh-oh. Right. So good evening. My name is Erica Summers, and I have had the honor of being a Parks and Rec Commissioner for just the last 7 months. And I'm here to present to the council just our Parks and Rec annual report. So just last July in 2015, the commission was approached by the Student Advocates for Sutter County, or the SASC youth group, which is a group of local youth ages 12 to 18 that work on different health issues that affect teens and youth in our community. And they approached the commission to address some health concerns that were coming up and concerning them regarding e-cigarettes and vaping use among teens. And they asked the commission to amend their current tobacco-free parks policy to include these new electronic cigarettes. And the commission agreed and recommended to the city council to move forward in amending that policy, that tobacco-free parks policy, to include electronic nicotine products and e-cigarettes. And so in October of 2015, the council members decided to move forward and pass, it was unanimous, and pass the tobacco-free parks policy to include electronic products. And along with that, at the same time, the council members actually also addressed their citywide policy in terms of the 50-foot policy of all county buildings to also include electronic products. And I believe it was Mayor Buckland that also suggested making all events sponsored by the city tobacco and vape free as well. So those were huge accomplishments. This is a picture of our beautiful signs that were purchased and placed, replaced all the old signs, and they are now up and visible at every park within the city. So in terms of the Parks Department specifically, in March of 2015, the Parks and Rec Commission identified Terrebonne as an underserved area in terms of park access and availability, and asked the Parks and Rec staff to identify possible community locations and property that could serve as future park development possibilities. And so after that, after identifying some potential properties that parks could be developed in this area, the Parks and Rec Commission held a special public meeting to kind of look at these different options, and invited the community members. These special meetings were held, well, the first special meeting was held in November, and invited community members and asked for their input in terms of possible park components, what locations. They were able to ask questions, voice their opinions, and really give a lot of feedback to the commission. After that, the commission actually held another special meeting in February where they were again invited the public to attend and give comment. They specifically looked at some of the findings from the previous meeting. They were also looking at potential funding opportunities for these different park development sites. And once again, the community gave a lot of feedback. There was a huge community presence, and we were able to address comments and suggestions and things like that. So, just as from a commissioner standpoint, I just wanted to point out that I really feel like the community had a huge opportunity to give their input and feedback in terms of this park development, and I think it was a really great opportunity. And as a commissioner, and I speak for all the other commissioners, I really believe that we listened to what the community had to say and really voted in the best interests of the majority. And so in February, the Parks and Recs Commission voted to move forward with the recommendation to City Council to apply for a grant from the California Department of Parks and Rec, the Land and Water Conservation Fund, that's a mouthful, to connect the bike path to the Harder Parkway site, which is a 5-acre site and one of the 3 main sites that were identified. And then just previously in April, the council adopted a resolution authorizing to apply for this grant funding of $1.1 million, and the application was just recently submitted within the last few weeks. So this is a picture of what the potential park may look like should we receive the matched funding. Again, so it's 1.1 million, and the match funding would give us 2.2. None of the specifics have been worked out, but this is what it potentially could look like. And I wanted to assure the council that, once that happens, or if we were to receive funding, we would again solicit input from the community, because we really feel that's important part of the process. In terms of our volunteer and Adopt a Park program, over 220 volunteers and Adopt a Park groups participated in various park cleaning days and park planting days throughout the year. This is a program that the Commission, in conjunction with Parks and Rec staff, really plan to increase and develop over the next year. So specifically in terms of recreation. So over the last year, there has been a huge push in terms of marketing our recreation programs and projects. The first and foremost, the activity guide was printed professionally, which I believe is the first time in a few years that's happened, and given to various community agencies and partners, and obviously distributed through to get to parents. So that was a huge accomplishment. Secondly, there has been a major push by Parks and Rec staff to do mass emails to both parents and community members that have signed up for park recreation programs in the past. So through mass emails to them and also to our community partner agencies. And then the last piece is the social media piece. This is becoming more and more prominent in the community and more prominent with government agencies. I know we're all a little slow to follow the trend, but we're getting there. They have been present on Facebook and Instagram and really connected not only with the community, but again with our other community agencies and local partners. And I just wanted to say, both, as a community partner, health professional, and as a parent, I've just seen a huge increase in the advertising, and it's very noticeable in our community. And so they're really doing a good job in terms of marketing. In terms of the new programs that have been implemented over the year, in terms of recreation. So we have a competitive basketball league, which is a little bit different from the traditional Parks and Rec basketball league, where 10 to 12-year-olds can try out for the competitive league. So it's a little bit different. And those that don't make it for the competitive will still have a chance to be involved in the regular basketball league. Skyhawks Youth Sports is camps for children ages 5 to 12. And it focuses on both golf and lacrosse, and those happen, they're youth camps that happen at various park locations throughout the city. Kids Love Soccer is a fun developmental skills and interactive learning for kids ages 2 to 10. In terms of soccer. And I just want to point out that, most organized sports don't start till age 4. 4 at the minimum. Most organized sports start at age 5. And so this is one of the first programs I have seen, again, as a health professional or commissioner or as a parent, that allows children to start interacting at age 2. It's a really amazing program. And my son is actually participating for his first time in an organized sport tonight at this. And I keep getting texts and emails, and I keep showing them to Brad. Look. So it's really fun. And he's just 2.5, so that's exciting. The last piece is our partnership with programs in MLB, which is the pitch, hit, run, and play ball. So the pitch, hit, run is a tournament based for softball and baseball. And that happened just recently, a few months ago, hosted at Blackburn Tally. And then also a free baseball camp that was hosted for youth in conjunction with Yuba City High School. In terms of new partnerships with the Parks and Rec over just this past year, so we have a local partnership with the Playseum, which their program is called FLIP. It's Families Learning and Play, where they receive mini grant funding to facilitate a program that's free to all Sutter County residents, and it's located at various parks throughout the year, throughout the city, and it focuses on interactive games and activities for children and families, sensory learning activities, and really focuses on development for youth age 0 to 5, and those are completely free. And another current partnership is between the Parks and Rec and the Health Division. This is the Health Division received funding to get paint and stencils that have physical activities on them. So like traditional ones would be hopscotch or Foursquare and things like that, and to put them at various locations in the community where children and families play. So at parks, schools, daycares, public housing. And so there's a partnership with the park, and we're in the current process of identifying local parks that have enough space, and we will be painting these at our local parks for increased physical activity for our youth. And I wanted to close by saying, as a commissioner, as a health professional, and as a community resident, I just really appreciate all the hard work Brad and his staff have done into putting into our Parks and Rec programs, and the council has done in supporting all of these programs and the commission's recommendations. I truly believe our city has done a really good job in terms of parks and recreation, and it's a huge piece both socially and in terms of health and development in our community. And so I really commend and thank you all. You guys have any questions?
Any questions of Erica?
Through the mayor. Okay. Erica, I just wanted to add one other thing to the new guide that we published. It is also available online, which has where you can register your kids for different sports and so on. I think it was, let me see what the name was, teamsideline.com/Yuba City. So you can do the schedules, registration, communications, free agent sign up, and the field status for softball. So that's another thing that's available to the community online, in addition to the beautiful program that was put out also. Yeah.
And it's very user-friendly as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Erica, thank you, and I would like to send also my thanks back to the rest of the commissioners. You are making our community far more usable, certainly adding to the assets that we have that are hard assets by bringing families and other activities forward for a more healthy lifestyle, especially with our young kids and the interaction of family, which I think is highly important. So thank you, and again, to all the commissioners.
Welcome.
We wish to thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time.